So who exactly did I needed to hire and in what order so I could grow my company to $1 million plus, put it on autopilot and gain my time back? We all know that in order to grow a company, we have to learn how to start delegating, because although as entrepreneurs, we know that we can do it all ourselves, but at some point, if we don't start delegating, we will not have time to grow, to buy back our time, and or spend time on things that matter most. The very first thing that I had to do to start growing my company, start freeing myself up. As business owners, we know that in a cleaning, when you start cleaning, you start doing it everything yourself, right? You start cleaning it, you start taking the phone calls, sending out the invoices, and etc. And it takes a lot of time. If you keep doing this, of course, by not paying someone else, you'll make a little more money, but you will not be able to grow because you're going to limit your own capacity to grow. Therefore, the very first person that I needed to hire was the answering service. And I'll explain why. So depending upon where you are located in your stage of your business, you might be able to determine who exactly you need right now so you can take your business to a next stage. So answering service was the number one company or a person that I had to hire, because what I noticed is as I was getting the leads and doing the service and closing it and doing the service, I was finding myself doing a cleaning and the phone would ring. And because the phone would ring while I'm doing the service and cleaning, I would not hear it. And what I noticed is people don't like leaving voicemails. So many of us don't leave the voicemails and we just hang up and start calling the second company. And that's not good, because you don't know a power of that lead. It could be one lead that could lead you to a multiple contracts and then connect you to with many other people. So therefore, it's essential that we don't miss out. And the beauty of the answering service is you can get one on a recurring monthly, relatively inexpensive cost and pay them for a calls that they pick up, and then tell them what hours you want and what questions you'd like. Shop around, find the service that you like, and perhaps you'll find yourself winning that possibly lost opportunity, because once person calls in, assuming someone else is picking up on the other hand and taking their information, the next time they're expecting for your phone call. In their mind, they left the voicemail for your so-and-so cleaning company. And when you call back, you have their information. Most likely, if you hit their voicemail, most likely they'll get back to you as well. And if not, then try them again. Try sending them email. So crucial information that you need during that call is who's calling, where's the address, their phone number, of course, how you can get a hold of them, frequency of the service, type of the service, and the email. Because if they don't respond to your phone call, then the emailing would be the next option. So once I figured out how not to lose a potential lead, how to make sure I can get a hold of their contact information, now I was able to go and do the cleaning, was knowing a peace of mind that I would not lose it. So the money I was paying to the answering service, very, very well worth it. So comes the next person. Okay, you can only do so much cleaning, and we know as a cleaning business owners, cleaning is very time-consuming process, the manual process itself. If you do cleaning, you beat up, you squeezed out, although your phone calls are being answered, but then you've literally run out of the energy to process the new leads, to invoice them, etc. So therefore, once I determined that I figured out how not to lose the leads, and now I'm doing the cleaning, then I start losing the energy to follow up with them. So therefore, the next person for me to hire was the cleaner, because I needed to replace myself. And that's exactly what you do as a business owner. You continue delegating the tasks that are on your shoulders, that consume time from you, so you can buy back your own time and grow bigger and faster. Of course, each time you delegate to someone, you pay out, but because the other people are doing more things, now you can service more, which means you will start making a little more money over time. So the next people I start hiring were the cleaners. And I start hiring them from the people I know in my circle. Immigrants are exceptionally, like being an immigrant is really, really good for you in this case, because you probably know a ton of people who wouldn't mind helping you out. First, I start bringing them as a part-time people to help me out on a one-off projects. Then once I saw their capacities, I start asking them to, hey, would you like to take on this contract and I pay you this much a month? And once I start doing this, I start noticing that I start having more time. Now I didn't have to pick up the phone, meaning like I wasn't missing the calls, and then I was subbing out the work to people to do it. Now I had more time, which means in a sense, a lesser missed calls, a lesser money to be paid to an answering service. But answering service was first, because in the beginning I needed to build out my clientele and income so I can meet my financial obligations. After all, we all know that in US, one thing that never ends, what is that? Bills, right? We all pay bills and they never end, and therefore we have to learn how to make sure that we meet our financial obligations all the time. So another person that I had to bring in was pretty much at the same year is the accountant and CPA, because that is something that I don't know. I don't know how to properly file my taxes, and I would rather do everything in my power to reduce the chances of being audited by our IRS or misfiling some kind of paperwork. So this was not something that I knew how to do. Therefore, I brought in a CPA to help me out with it. All right, moving on. So the next person we have, once I start cleaners, the answering service, and CPA were there, the next person I brought in was the content writer, because luckily for me, I did know how to build the website and start bringing in the leads. So the phone was ringing. I never did the door-to-door, and I never did the cold calling to generate the leads, because I was able to generate them an inbound, so they were coming in. So the next person I needed to bring in is a person who had a better skill set than I did in regards to the writing of content. English is my third language, and I'm not proficient. I always, every single day, work on it and improve my skills, but I need to bring in a professional in this case. And then I was able to find one person from Upwork that rewrote all the content for me. And one more other thing that this person did, not just he rewrote the whole website, but also my emails, email templates, marketing collaterals, print materials, right? The stuff that you hand out when you see the people, the content for the website, helped with SEO, emails, helped with conversions and getting the responses from people. And the print material is when you meet the people, now you want to give them something tangible. And the most cost-effective thing to do is pretty much pens and or flyers and brochures that you can hand out. The mugs and etc. you can do them later on. But in the beginning, it's the business card, the brochures, and SEO that was bringing in. So therefore, I outsourced this. And please notice that all the positions that I was doing, an answering service, a cleaner, a CPA, a content writer, none of them were a full-time. They were on as needed basis, which means they didn't tank me. So whether I had work or not, right, I would pay them based on a project, and I was able to regulate the money that I have. So I have enough money to pay my bills and pay these people. And if I didn't have work, so I didn't have to pay them, which means they weren't just taking the money out of my pocket and banking my account. So all of those are freelancers and or as needed positions as I was bringing them in. As the company started growing, and we were on a few $100,000 now, so I would guess about $150,000, when I decided to bring in the office manager, because then I started noticing myself not having enough time to go meet the customers, to process the leads, to assign the job, to invoice the client, to check the inventory, do the quality control, go purchase stuff from Home Depot and or other janitorial supplies, cleaning supplies, and etc. Take the broken equipment to the equipment repair people and etc. So when I found myself in a crunch and now I was able to bring someone else, the admin was the next person that I decided to onboard. And that was like an admin, office manager, inventory, basic bookkeeping, and etc. So this person would stay in the office all the time, answer the calls, take the client leads, take the information, pass it along, do the inventory. give away, dispatch people to work, receive the inventory, make sure inventory is good, and do some quality assurance and assistance as and if needed. So bringing in an admin was amazing. It freed up a lot of my time. So the bigger positions that freed up a lot of my time were the cleaning, because cleaning takes a lot of time and we talked about it. And the second person was the office admin, because if you tied into your office, you're tied into your office. And as I was able to bring in this office admin, now I was able to let the answering service go. So I did end the contract with them because there was no need. My office admin was manning the office, which means during the normal office hours, the phone would ring. And if the office admin would miss it, then we had the ring sequence and it would ring my phone. So our chances of getting those calls answered were high. So we weren't losing those valuable leads anymore. So once the office admin was trained and working, the next person I start bringing in is somebody who's better than me in closing the accounts. So someone can actually go talk to people and negotiate with them and negotiate the agreement with the cleaners as well. Because remember, as the business owner, our job to sell the work first to a client. So we have the project and then you sell it to your employees and or subcontractors, which means to those that execute the work as well, because they can say, nope, dude, I'm not going to do this work. So it takes both way convincing and sales and persuasion. And sales was taking up so much of my time. So I was still handling the marketing, SEO optimization, like overseeing the whole flow and kind of like playing at checkers and telling content writer, write a content, web developer, do this and do that. But I didn't have the salesperson because I was losing so much time negotiating between customers, making sure the service agreements are there, deposits are paid, and then negotiating this work with negotiating with a cleaner, whether it's subcontract employee, giving them sign-off sheets, making sure they go execute when there's a hiccup. If it's the overnight weekend position, I need to be on the phone. So that was training me. Therefore, I decided to bring in a salesperson. And the way I was able to find a salesperson, so one of the things with the salespeople are good existing salespeople, the companies won't let them go. The bad ones, you probably don't want them. And if you just want somebody just on a commission basis, they probably will walk away on you. So therefore, getting the sales position will probably be one of the harder work for you, and the quicker turnaround was getting the right salesperson. But then you would have to, at least in my case, I needed to offer a decent base and then a commission as well to bring in a salesperson. Having said that, this position is really hard to make sure that the person stays, and you're probably going to have a quicker turnaround, which we do have a quicker turnaround with our salespeople. So once we brought in the salesperson, now I didn't have to go to phone calls. The office admin was making sure that the vendors are dispatched, the stuff is received, the sign-offs, the quality control, and sending out the basic invoices, etc. The salesperson was selling it. So I was still managing and building the website. Those were the skills that I knew because I started using the content management software and I kind of taught myself. But then I noticed that I now was spending quite a bit of time on developing and building the web and links and making sure the URLs are correct, the forms are working, emails are working. So I found myself running out of time to be doing all these smaller tasks that somebody actually is very passionate about. So I went on Upwork and found a web developer who then we end up working probably for 5 to 7 years together, and the guy was amazing. And I had to bring in the other web developers as we start growing the capacity, the scope of work, and etc. So web developer was the next person that I decided to bring in, because in my case, I was very lucky to figure out the formula, how to optimize the site so it shows up quick on top on a Google search as local, and then the people call you. Well, this is a part of an inbound. In another video, we're going to talk about inbound and outbound policy, marketing strategies and cons and disadvantages of one and the other, and etc. So once I brought in the web developer, then the web developer was able to build a better looking website and more appealing landing pages that convert better. make sure the links weren't broken, the structure was solid and clean, and the URLs were short and nice. Now, combined with the content writer that I brought in earlier, these guys start knocking out the website, and my website start going up on a higher ranks in Baltimore metropolitan area. And we start getting more leads, which all of these new hires were justified by us bringing in new work, new recurring work, especially, which I love because that allows us to budget and forecast. So as I was growing, so I wasn't just hiring people. I was hiring people without taking a loan or credit and relying on the income that the company was generating. So as I brought in this web developer working in tandem with the content writer, they brought the website higher. So we start getting more calls. The salesperson start closing more. Office manager start making sure that people are paid on time. The vendors are happier and preventing the accounts from losing. So all of that was building up momentum and bringing in more business to us. So I was able to bring in more work. So SEO is search engine optimization is how I was able to leverage my company and get in front of the people that were looking for the services, who had a problem, and we were there to solve their cleaning needs. After web developer, then the next person I hired was, you might have guessed it, because I was doing the search engine optimization, organic search. Then I brought in a person to help me out with PPC, which is paid per click campaigns. So contrary to SEO, which takes months and months to build out, and you can really guarantee and pinpoint how much you're spending per lead, PPC is immediate. Once you have a nice landing page and your campaign is optimized, and you can put the negative words that you like in your criteria so people are not calling for you. For example, a negative words for us were residential, because I didn't want it to do residential then. A cheap, affordable. Words as such were disqualifying, so we weren't popping up, but professional cleaning company, recurring office, recurring business cleaning services, warehouse cleaning, etc. Those were here. As soon as we launched the PPC, we start getting more leads. So we're getting them now from SEO, and now we're getting them from PPC. They were all channeled through the salesperson. Office admin was handling it as well. So the machine started working like a pretty much well-oiled machine. And as it was growing, I started bringing in more people. So office admin, one of the things when office admin, I had to train the office admin, and to relieve the office manager and decrease the room for error, I had to bring in the bookkeeper, and it was a part-time bookkeeper. First I was training them, then a part-time bookkeeper who now was able to send out the accurate invoices if clients weren't paying, do a collection calls to ensure that we get paid in time, to make sure the staff is getting paid in time. So that streamlined the operations a little bit. So the very next person after the PPC person, I brought in a bookkeeper. So once we have the bookkeeper and the machine is working now, then I brought in the video editor. Actually, the video editor who's editing this video for you as well. The logic behind it was, okay, so we're getting the leads. We need to increase the conversions. And how do we increase the conversions? We need the testimonial videos. We need the promotional videos. I wanted to experiment with social media campaigns, paid campaigns, which actually didn't work out for us. Not to say that they're not good. We just weren't able to crack the formula. For us, the best lead generation are up to date is organic search and the paid per click campaigns, excluding the social medias, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, etc. We do not market paid advertisement there. So once that's done, the next person I needed to do is streamline my CRM. And CRM is client relationship management software. If you don't have it, once you grow to a certain extent, you would want to get one, because this is how you track the front end of your business, which means the leads come in, the notes, because you can't keep Excels and Google Sheets and etc. You'll just forget. The CRMs allow you to automate your business, and once it's automated, the note keeping is there, who left what notes, schedule an event, automatic rules and triggers, quality control, it goes to your calendar and etc. And it has the rules and triggers. And those were getting complex for me. In a sense, I was doing the SEO optimization myself, but I'm like, oops, there are things I don't know. And just learning SEO optimization, like Zoho CRM optimization, takes a lot. So I again went to Upwork and found an amazing freelancer, and we still work to date as we have the emails and etc. That's all streamlined. When you guys see one of the videos I'm going to shoot, and let me know if you'd like it sooner or later about the CRM, so I can show you inside of my CRM the triggers, what happens when the lead comes in, how we run them through a funnel, how we send out the emails, what attachments go out, how it goes to a calendar, how service agreements go out that they can now take their phones and literally sign and etc. So if you'd like one of the videos explaining how my CRM works, because we customized the CRM, like literally crap out of our CRM, and this is where I needed a help of this person who could do this, right? So I don't have to be the person who's doing and learning it, because I'm buying back my time. As owners, one of the bigger things for us should always be like, buy back your time so you can start spending on things that truly matter for you. Not to say business doesn't matter. Business is hugely, right? If you don't have an income coming in, then you can't really focus on everything, but take care of the business, then you can spend time with your loved ones, with your family, with travel, vacations, etc., or work on your more passion projects if you have something else. So this is when I had to bring in the Zoho automation expert, who's amazing and been working out very well for us. Once that person got taken care of, then the very next person that we brought in was the email marketing automation, because what I noticed is people were leaving, not responding, reviews weren't able to trigger. So we brought in an email automation person so we can do a cold outreach and then also email automation sequences, such as an onboarding email. Once the customer signs in, then we have a welcome email going out. If we lose an account because of one or the other reasons, expensive or customer doesn't respond, etc., then we put them through a funnel, which is like a drip email funnel intended to bring the people back. If we complete the job and it was one time, then we'll run them through an email drip funnel where we try to bring them back again and or get a review from them. Or when we send out a proposal, what happens when a person signs in and clicks the request a quote from us. So all that stuff got automated, including the free giveaways we created, videos, the email newsletter, or an ebook as well, which you're more than welcome to go and download on innerworldcleaning.com website. So once that's done, the SEO person was brought in. So that's next person, right? I had the email automation person. We worked with the email automation person for months, if not a year. When I onboarded and brought in the SEO, finally, I start giving away all my responsibilities to those that actually love what they do and better. Quite frankly, as business owners, don't we think that we can do it all? And we actually know that we can do it all. That's our personality. This is why we're entrepreneurs. This is why we took the risk and decided to do this work. So after bringing in the SEO professional, I've noticed so much difference and actually influx. So it's not immediate. What I'm saying is when you have the SEO person, it takes time to see the results. So give them at least 3 to 6 months, that I encourage, assuming you have the right person, and then you'll start seeing the results and influx on the incoming leads that are coming in. Currently, our incoming leads increased to so much so that we put a pause on paid campaigns, because we don't want to lose the momentum of SEO going up. But paid campaigns, you can turn them on and turn them off. When they're off, you're spending less money, so you're not paying for those leads because you're getting them here. As they're coming in, you process them and you hire new people. So I'm getting in the next stage where we need to find another salesperson so we can continue on growing the company. And as mentioned, salespeople, unfortunately, in this industry, I wasn't able to figure out how to keep them motivated, encouraged, and stick with a company. So if you do know that, please share it so everybody in this community can benefit from it. Once all of those positions were filled, so far we talked about the answering service, the cleaner, CPA accountant, about the office manager, salesperson, web developer person, bookkeeper, PPC person that we hired, video editor, Zoho automation, email marketing, and an SEO person. All of those were either saving me time or bringing in more business and or automating and streamlining the customer retention and increasing the client happiness. So the very next person that I brought in is a virtual assistant. And if you don't have one, they're amazing too. I recommend Upwork again. For any long-term project that require consistent collaboration, I go to Upwork. And if it's a short-term project, then I use a Fiverr that is like instant and quick and etc. So virtual assistant was tremendous. I did not know that once you get busy and you have kids and businesses and you have an automation and an ambitious project that we're working on, then virtual assistant will come in very handy. So if you're at this stage when you're looking for a virtual assistant, I recommend you do that. And what you can also do when you need that admin, if you don't want to bring in a local person because you don't have money to pay for the local person to sit in the office, and part-time people are not so reliable because they can find a full-time job, get a VA. VA can support you so much, so negotiations, client outreach, answering the phones, basic bookkeeping, and etc. You'll be surprised how much time the VA will be able to save you and how much streamlined your work will get. So VA was the next person that I selected, and this would be the number 14 person on the list. So throughout, a couple of things that I didn't mention that I was doing as the company was growing, I was getting the cleaners promoted. So in a sense that the cleaners now open their own cleaning companies and start hiring other people as well, because my logic was, okay, it's yes, you pay a little more to a vendor because vendor must be able to do their work, find the people to do it, and then make a little bit of profit in between. So yes, you give away more from your money, but then you get back more of your time. So the supervisors, the cleaner supervisors, or encouraging the cleaners to become the vendors was probably somewhere the 15th position in between the cleaner, because I put them in between. And the best advantage of it is if a person is calling and not to show up, it's now vendor's responsibility. They'll go and execute the project. And if they need to find more people, it's the vendor's responsibility. So the idea to make sure that things are on a pilot and you're not getting bothered at all times with the new requests and etc. So there you go. You've got the list of the 15 people and or positions that I had to be onboarding as my company was growing, so that the whole process probably take me decade plus. But knowing that you have now this knowledge and information, you can hopefully squeeze this and expedite your growth process of your growth. So if you haven't watched it yet, then go ahead and watch the video where I talk about how I made $350 in half an hour or less, leveraging my existing network. And then you'll understand why I was able to do that and where those positions come in place. Because if I did not have these positions, then the 30 minutes for $350 would have been a lot longer time should I decide to take it. Go ahead and watch the video, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye-bye.